All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We have some major news that was breaking overnight. Iran launched a missile barrage targeting multiple Israeli sites, most notably Soroka Medical Center in southern Israel was hit. This is significant because this medical center is the only hospital in southern Israel. It also serves as a research hospital for their university, and it treats IDF soldiers who are fighting in Gaza that go there for treatment and things like that. And it's also the only level 1 trauma center in southern Israel. So lots of important aspects of this hospital, and also serves 1 million people. So that was hit by an Iranian missile overnight. Have some coverage of that, some photos to show, and quotes regarding what the impact of that was. So right here, you see a photo of a nurse carrying medical supplies after the Iranian missile had struck. You see the damage over there. 71 people have been slightly injured, according to the country's health ministry. But it's also, a major escalation because, like I said, they serve 1 million people annually. And Israel's defense minister has pretty much said, as a result of this, the Ayatollah can no longer be allowed to exist. That's a direct quote, speaking to reporters on the direct side of the missile strikes in Holland. Khamenei openly declares that he wants Israel destroyed. He personally gives orders to fire on hospitals, and he considers the destruction of state of Israel to be a goal. He said that before threatening the Ayatollah. A lot of people have been talking about just the stark parallels of this because, people be sharing photos and videos of hospitals in Gaza and doctors in Gaza being killed. And so, like, the comments on a lot of these posts and videos just show that, a lot of people are pretty fed up with kind of what the IDF is doing in Israel and in Gaza, and cheering on these Iranian strikes to see Israeli infrastructure crumble. A lot of people are celebrating that just because of what the people of Gaza and the West Bank have been enduring for quite some time. I have a video here that I would like to show you guys as well. Inside the hospital, you can see first responders on the side. Guys, check out this video. This is from inside of the hospital after the blast had hit.
בוא נפל הטיל. אימא'לה, מה קורה בסורוקה? טירוף מוחלט. תראו את כולם רצים. תראו את האנשים. תראו את האנשים.
Absolutely stunning the escalation that we're seeing. Now hospitals being targeted. Israel did target the Iranian state media. This was during a live broadcast, actually, when the Iranian state media site was hit. So this is some graphic footage. So you'll see an anchor. So after that had happened, the damage obviously sounds extremely substantial. The Associated Press did actually publish these photos this morning. So let's take a look at that really quick. Look at the aftermath of these photos of the Israeli strike on the headquarters of the Iranian state television in Tehran. Yeah, these were published this morning by the AP. I mean, from the video, watching the anchor, once the explosion had hit, obviously you could tell it was substantial, but I did not expect, like, the entire inside has just been obliterated. Keep in mind, the Iranian state television is where most people get their news in Iran, because I believe that they have banned a lot of different news outlets and stations from Iranian ones reporting. So this is where a lot of people get their news. See outside of the building. Crazy, man. Crazy. The AP photographers were there catching the aftermath. Major escalation on this war, still not knowing what the U.S. involvement is going to be. Israel has called for the assassination of the supreme leader of Iran, which the U.S. has not agreed to do. However, there was news the other night that Trump did agree to some kind of targeted attack. Everybody keeps saying Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, even though they have not been enriching uranium enough to build a nuclear bomb. And I did see this on another channel, and this is an important thing to note. After enriching the uranium, you still have to build the bomb. So even Benjamin Netanyahu slipped up. It's going to take anywhere from a year to 3 years for them to build a bomb, even after enriching whatever nuclear material and uranium they need to, construct said bomb. However, just keep in mind that Trump did pull the United States out of that Iranian nuclear deal that was brokered by the Obama administration back in 2018, and then tried to broker a new deal that was the exact same, just wanted his own name on it. And after that, Iran was like, okay, well, if you're going to pull us out of this, then we're going to continue enriching uranium for our own purposes, whether it be research, nuclear energy, what have you, for civilian and our citizen, our country's purposes, not to build a nuclear bomb. And a lot of this is the same rhetoric that we heard for the invasion of Iraq. There are weapons of mass destruction. The U.S. needs to get involved immediately. However, after 20 years, being there for so long in Iraq and Afghanistan, no weapons of mass destruction were found. And it's a lot of the exact same rhetoric of you're either with us or you're against us. They're doing this. They're chanting death to America, death to Israel, all of this kind of stuff, and trying to force the United States into direct conflict with Iran. We'll see how this all plays out. Trump did say he is, has made a decision, very wishy-washy. Hasn't come full forth with a concrete decision yet. But my whole thing is this is human lives, man. This is a lot of people's lives and livelihoods on the line, especially children. The U.S. doesn't want to get involved. Most citizens of the United States, Americans don't want to get involved in another endless war in the Middle East, and trying to find diplomatic solutions is always the answer because, war should always be the last resort after every single option has been exhausted. But it's kind of hard to have Iran come back to the negotiating table after, Israel killed their top lead negotiator from Iran that was supposed to be meeting a couple of days later this past Sunday with the United States for 6th round of negotiating talks. So we'll see how all of this plays out. Lots of heavy damage. I'm looking at all of these photos and all of these videos and everything. And, it's hard. Again, I will say it is hard to see how we can pull back from the brink of this, how we can pull back from, these rising escalations and tensions after so much damage has already been done. Tel Aviv has been hit multiple times. Tehran has been hit multiple times. They did say they took out a lot of air defense systems in Tehran and control the skies of Iran right now. But yeah, Trump is still weighing his options about the bunker busting bomb, the 30,000-pound bomb, which would need multiple of them to begin with. So it's not just a one and done type thing. It will take multiple rounds to have this happen. And we can see a major escalation and a lot of other countries getting pulled in if that happens. But we will stay with this story. We'll stay with the story and see kind of what happens from here on out. Comment your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.